Hello and welcome to day 3 of the Calm During COVID 5-day at-home yoga practice. Today's theme is cultivating courage in the face of the unknown and the uncertainty. So to begin, we're going to start lying down for this practice. So get yourself situated. Rest yourself in any way that's comfortable for you, as long as you can breathe easily. And if you want to, you can close your eyes. And just thank yourself really for showing up. This is the hero's path to continue to show up again and again, even when things are uncertain. So find your way into your own breath. Breathe into your belly, pressing it down into the mat as you inhale. No force or strain. If you start to feel stiffness in your neck, you're pushing too hard. Just take 2 more breaths, relaxing into the support of the ground. And after that second breath is over, you're going to turn your head and put your chin on your mat, and you're going to open your arms so that your elbows are at a right angle, and they're like 2 goalposts on the floor. Quiet the muscles of the low back and even the glutes right now, the butt muscles. And push down with your hands and lift your elbows and your shoulders up. Try to draw your shoulders on your back without gripping in your low back or your butt. And then hover your chin maybe an inch above the ground, only working up between the shoulder blades. And then if this is going well and you want to give it a whirl, try hovering your hands for a moment. Feet are down, knees are down. Breathe in. On the exhale, release. And turn your head to the side if that feels good to you. And now take your attention to your legs and just turn your kneecaps and your feet straight down, not turned out, so more parallel. Again, breath into the low belly and just feeling whatever is arising, whatever you notice in your body or in your emotions. Trying not to judge or critique. And come back to the chin. Lift just the right leg. Keep the knee straight. And reach the leg away. So now we are squeezing the butt muscles, the hamstrings, the back of the leg. Stretch even the inseam of your leg. Reach through your leg, stretch it longer and put it back down. And just pause and notice the difference between the right side and the left side. Whatever you notice. And then we'll do the other leg. So lift it, knee straight, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hamstrings, spread the toes, reach through the inseam of the leg, stretch it long, 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 reach, 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 and all the way back down to the ground. On the exhale, just relaxing into whatever is coming up for you right now, whatever you feel. This is the courageous journey, just being with what is. Then let's put those 2 poses together. We'll start with the upper body. On the chin to start, lift the elbows, draw the shoulders onto the back, and then hover the chin. So bending more in the thoracic spine, not so much in the neck. And then perhaps lifting the hands. Now, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs, lift them up, and hover with straight legs on your belly. Come into your breath again. Breathe into your belly. Maybe you rock a little bit. Then when you exhale, put your hands on your mat under your outer shoulders push into the floor, drop the toenails, roll up into cobra pose. Take a breath in. Let the breath go. One more inhale, holding in the intensity of this edge. And on the exhale, you're going to push back into child's pose. The agitation that you feel, just let it be. You don't need to fix it. Just acknowledge whatever you're feeling. And have the courage to just be with it. Not knowing really what's going to happen here. When you breathe in again, you're going to start to lift back up to all fours this time. So plant your hands, and if ever this is too much on your wrists or hands, you can always go onto your knuckles or your fingertips. I like a little in front of my shoulders, that helps my wrists. And then just for a couple of moments, start to move in your body. And I want you to move in any way that you want. I don't care what it looks like. It doesn't need to be cat and cow. I want you to start to practice feeling into what you need. What would make you feel better? What would meet your needs right now? Do that for one more breath. Find your way into downward facing dog. If the agitation is high, you can meet it in a lot of ways, but today I'm going to give you two choices. One is just subtle movement. So if it's really intense, sometimes this is better. Like you're not trying to contain it, you're actually working with it. And if it's, at least for me, if it's a little bit more moderate, I can just hold still and create a container of stillness around what's bouncing inside of me, what's bouncing around in my mind. Okay, always if dog pose is too much, you can put your knees down and take child's pose or puppy pose, which is dog pose on the knees. Regardless of where you are, whatever it looks like, feel what's happening in your body. And then begin to walk your feet into a forward fold, and you're going to go about as wide as your mat. So if you're not using a mat, that's like outer shoulder width apart. And you just want to make sure that your low back is below your pelvis. So if it's rounding up, just bend your knees or put something to support your hands, like blocks. And then try to release your head down. Take hold of your elbows and just do a little bit of bobbing or swaying. And then begin to place your hands on your ankles or shins, and when you breathe in, you're going to push into your legs and lift the spine about halfway from the floor and then hold there. You might have to bend the knees if it's too strenuous. Pull your belly in, keep breathing. So we're in this in-between place. We're not standing up, we're not folding forward, and this is very much where we are in life right now. We have no idea what the heck is going to be happening tomorrow or next week. So find a way to breathe in the intensity of not knowing. It's very courageous to stay here. Open the chest, open the heart, roll the shoulders back, tuck the belly in, take one more breath, this time into the chest, not the belly. And then when you exhale, release and just let go into the stretch. On the inhale, walk the hands forward to the top of the mat and step the feet back to either plank or kneeling plank. And then wait for your exhale and take the entire exhale. That's like 4 to 8 seconds to get to the floor. Go slow. Be in that middle ground. In between. We don't know where things are going. Then release the toes and take a back bend if you want, or just lie on your belly if that feels like too much for you. Push back to all fours. So I'm going to give an option for this one. We're going to take one hand off the floor, and I'll turn to face you. So if you can do it, take your right hand behind your head. That might be really intense. Like for me, my back gripped immediately. So another option is just to raise the elbow and dangle the hand. So less severe, or maybe just fingertips. So wherever you are with what you can manage, what you can stay present with, you're going to open and look toward the right. Push the head back, use the upper back, shoulder blades on the back. We're gonna do that one more time. So just go to neutral, face the floor. Head back in line with spine. Open to the right, squeezing the shoulder blades. Now this time when you exhale, take your hand behind your other wrist and drop your shoulder and the side of your head all the way to the floor. Come up onto your left fingertips and roll your left shoulder blade onto your back. Try to twist a little bit more towards the back of your head. And then we're here in this like perilously close to doing a somersault position. And just notice what your reaction is to this edge of discomfort. Are you clenching your jaw? Or maybe you can open your mouth or move the jaw around. Are you holding your breath? Try not to judge. Just know your reactions, right? This is our opportunity to reprogram. If it's not how you want it to be, change it. When you inhale, unravel from that twist. Find your way upright and then take your right leg and stretch it back so that it's hovering above the ground. Point the toes down, stretch the inseam of the leg. So we're still working the glute, the back of the leg, just like we did earlier. This time you're gonna bend your knee, sole of the foot toward the ceiling. Lift the gaze, squeeze your back muscles into a back bend. Imagine that you could touch your head and your foot in some fantasy world. It might not be in this lifetime. And now when you exhale, you're going to bring that right foot all the way up by your right thumb into a lunge. Any option with the arms that you want. So perhaps they stay on the ground. Maybe they go to the sky. Remember, we're learning how to be with what we feel, not just what we think. So as you feel your own body, where does it need to be? And if you're not there, if it's not feeling good, change it. Last breath here. And then please step back. And again, you can go to child's pose, puppy pose, or dog pose, totally up to you. Remember the options. Sometimes a little movement can help. Sometimes holding still is better. And it changes from moment to moment. So you just have to keep checking in. Just keep being there for yourself. On the exhale, if your knees are not down, drop them there. Back to all fours. Again, I'll turn to face you. So setting up from the all four position. And this time, the left hand either behind the head or on fingertips or elbow bent. So in some capacity, trying to lift that left hand or elbow up and then twisting, drawing shoulder blades onto the back. Like this feels like a lot of work to me. And then stabilizing in that intensity, but coming back to face toward the floor. Whew. And then we're going to twist one more time, open to the left, head back, throat open, and then dive down and take the elbow, shoulder, head to the ground. Come onto the fingertips of the right hand. Draw the right shoulder blade onto the back. Roll more towards the back of your head and notice again, what is your reaction to being in this really awkward, tight, pretzel shape? Don't judge yourself. That's an old habit that needs to go. Untwist slow. Back to all fours. And then left leg is going to shoot straight back from the hip, so you're hovering at like hip height. Then you're going to bend that knee, push the sole of the foot up, lean your head back, and send your chest through the window of your arms. It helps if you feel like you're pulling your hands toward your right knee. Good job. Step forward, left foot next to left thumb, however you can get it there. And then setting up to meet this side. Now I might need something different than the other side. I think somewhere somebody said you have to do one side exactly like the other side in the history of yoga, and I don't agree with that. Let's meet this side where we are, right? If this side is looser, maybe consider not pushing so hard. Don't try to make it feel like the tighter side, right? Because then you're just increasing the imbalance, making it even more loose. Instead, just feel the edge. Try not to push past it. Cultivate the courage to just be exactly where you are without needing to fix anything at all. Okay, step back, one of those three poses: dog, puppy, child's pose. If you're dying to take a vinyasa and another back bend, be my guest. And then you're gonna have a seat and stretch your legs straight out in front. For a moment, you're just gonna lean your hands back behind and just wave the feet around. They can go same way, they can go opposite ways. You could even alternate the knees. Please bend your right knee and put your foot flat on the mat so that your kneecap is pointing straight upright. Use your right hand like a kickstand next to or behind your hips, and then send the left arm up. Take a breath. When you exhale, twist, and when you meet like that first moment of resistance in your back or your hip, just stop. Why are you trying to push through that? Just hold right on that edge. I know it might not be uncomfortable, or might not be comfortable rather. Then let's cross the elbow to the front or the outside of the knee, depending on where you are. Take an in-breath and sit up a little bit straighter. And hug your knee toward you as you exhale and twist a little bit deeper around to the right. Move the right hand farther if you need to. Lean the head back, open the front of the throat, the top of the heart. On the in-breath, begin to face forward. and stretch out the right leg. Bend the second side, left leg. And then left hand as kickstand, right arm toward the sky. Twist, meet this side. Just feel what's happening. And then put the arm in an appropriate place for the side. It's not going to be the same as it was on the other side. So just be with that. Right at the top of the throat, bottom of the throat, top of the heart, soften that. Keep it a head back in line with spine as you twist to the left. And unravel and go both legs straight ahead again. So the distance between the feet can vary, up to you. If you're a little tighter, keep the feet apart. If you're a little more limber in the legs and back, you can have them right together. So right now we're going to use the hands a little closer than we had them before to help us sit up straight. Now, if this is difficult for you, if this feels like you're straining already, well then just stay here. Consider what would you need to do to take the hands off the ground. Now, if you're straining, then it's too much. But if this is on the easier side for you, it's usually related to flexibility, not strength. You can take the arms overhead. Just hold there. Remember we did this when we were in the forward fold. We had our hands on our shins. It's an in-between place. We don't know what's going to happen when we move from here. And what yoga is teaching us is how to be okay with not knowing. If your hands are on the floor behind you, try to get a little lighter in the hands. More of the work is transferring to the legs and the spine. We'll take one more breath. Don't give up. On exhale, lean out over the legs. You can start to drop the hands wherever they naturally fall, so they may or may not make it to the feet. Again, I don't really care what it looks like per se. I'm really more interested in how do you feel? How do you feel right now? And if this is not supporting what you need, then change it. See if you can release the head, relax the arms and shoulders, but try to straighten your legs. The heels stay down, so if your heels come up when you straighten your legs, you're hypermobile in your knees. Heels down, squeezing the quads now, the front of the legs. And just waiting. Just waiting for the body, waiting for things to let go and to reveal themselves. It's a very vulnerable place to be, to not know. Find your breath. If it's emotionally too intense, just keep the eyes softly open. Get like a micro curiosity of like what is on the floor in front of you where you're looking. Stay present. 3 more breaths. Letting the back body stretch. Staying right by your own side. Begin to sit back up slowly. And then you're going to make your way onto your back. And then once you're here on your back, you're going to just start to sweep the legs from side to side. So if you keep your feet apart, this windshield wiper action will kind of pigeon toe one knee, kind of drop knee that leg in. Let the hips rotate with that. pausing anywhere that feels like you need to be held, or continuing to move through it if the agitation is too high and movement is helping you more. And slow down whatever movement you're making if you are, and at some point come back to a symmetrical shape. Walk the feet into hip width apart if they're not. And we'll just take one bridge pose. So you're going to push your elbows back, lift your chest towards your chin, and then lift your buns off the ground. Open the arms. Let's go palms up. So it's a little bit less intense in the arm clasp. Soften the eyes. Quiet the eyebrow area. Unclench the jaw. Take one more inhale right into the heart space. Keep the chest slightly open if you can as you exhale, and drop the hips. Just kind of tug the tail away from the head to create some length. Now, separate your feet again and just tip your knees in on one another so they're holding each other up. And we'll practice like just a reclining meditation here for just a couple of moments. You can keep the eyes softly open, kind of in an in-between place, not open, not closed, or close them all together. And just imagine that you're sitting on a busy sidewalk, busy street. This is not a COVID shut down city. This is normal life. Like, pretend for just a moment that things were what they used to be. You know, we know that we are not going back to that, but for the sake of this, picture cars, people walking, life proceeding. And what I want you to direct your attention to is the space, the emptiness between the people, between the cars, so that you're seeing the field of openness. It might be a super busy street, it might be a medium busy street. And the visual is that this commotion, for lack of a better word, is your thoughts. Like, every thought is like a car or a person passing by. And I want you to start to mirror this in looking at your own mind. That when you notice the thinking, that you're trying to see this quiet space that is between and underneath the thoughts. We're just watching. We're not trying to critique the thoughts or psychoanalyze our family of origin or anything like that. Just, there's a thought and there's the empty space that the thought just disappears into, the same way it came. Now, it is more advanced to do this with your feelings. But if you want to try, just notice what you might be feeling, recognize whatever you might be feeling. Like, I have a little bit of trepidation, and I want you to allow whatever you feel. It's allowed here, but then stay stepped back in that space of the empty, unified field of openness. You can investigate where you might feel it in your body, but remember, it's not you. You are not that feeling. You are having that feeling. Just like we practice in meditation, feelings and not identify with them so much, so that the emotional agitation can maybe get a little quieter, or at least we become less reactive to it. So take one breath into your belly now. And then let that out. And take your knees into your hands. Give yourself a hug. Acknowledge the courage of the warrior who showed up today. When you are ready to move, please roll to your side. Either side is fine. Take a moment there so that you're not rushing. And then use your hands to push yourself back up to sitting. Thank you so much for practicing today, for cultivating this courage in such crazy times of uncertainty, and for bringing a sense of calm amidst this storm. Namaste.